And a jolly good morning to you from the small hamlet of Pegston. And although I've labelled this a Hertfordshire walk, to an all intents and purposes it is, although we are at this moment in time stood in Bedfordshire, because this little hamlet just sits in a little dogleg in the border of the two counties, Hertfordshire and Bedfordshire. And so that's where this walk is actually going to start. But this is a two-pub walk from here in Pegston. So you can obviously come here, park up on the road or in the car park, visit the pub, use its facilities. It's called The View. The village is Pegston. You can look it up. It has a website, etc, etc. Used to be called the Live and Let Live, for any of you that used to or live in these parts and know the pubs around here. Changed its name a few years ago. And I'm going to walk to the village of Pirton this morning as part of a big circular walk I'm doing today. And if you've seen my other video from over Deacon Hill, then you will this has been done on the same day. And then when I get to Pirton and I've refreshed myself, I will head back over the hill back to my car at the car park. So here we are in Pegston. Let's assume we've come here and had a spot of lunch or a breakfast or whatever in the pub, and now we're heading off to Pirton, which should take approximately an hour to walk from here. Back up over the hills, not the Deacon Hill over there. This is a public footpath and part of the Chiltern Way extension, as the signpost says. Don't be put off by the private road sign, that's for cars. This is an extremely long driveway towards a farm, and you'll know when to turn off this, because there are signs saying don't go beyond, no cyclists, no walkers, no cars, no anything. But this part of it is part of the public footpath, so you're quite at liberty to come down here. And then we'll head up over to what's known as Knocking Knoll and the Knocking Knoll Nature Reserve, or the Knocking Hoe Nature Reserve, and over the top and back down Wood Lane into the village of Pirton. When we walk into Pirton, we'll walk through the centre of the village. There's a pub there called the Mott and Bailey, and then if we continue on down through the village, there's a second pub called the Fox, and also a shop. Beautiful day today. It's early summer, late spring, and I can't tell you if I'm back in Hertfordshire or not yet. I've a funny feeling I am, or probably just somewhere over there the border is. As I say, it's quite difficult to establish precisely where you are, and there aren't any signs. Not that it really matters. Very satisfying sound walking down this road with the gravel. Some of the slightly odd earthworks I was mentioning just there, when you look at that from above, it does look like it's been kind of dug out by hand into a kind of almost looks like they're building a bypass, you know, that they're cutting through a hill with a cutting on each side. I'm sure that's not the case, but that's what it looks like a bit. There's a old burial mound over there in the distance. I don't think it's not going to come out on the camera. I can see it just to the right of the slightly larger mound in the foreground. Do believe you can walk up to that if you so desire. Helpful little sign there saying no parking. I'll be inclined to park back in the village anyway if you're going to come here. And this is where you don't continue any further down the road. So it's noticeable how little gravel there is this side of it and how much there is on the other side, so, and how overgrown it is through lack of feet. Anyway, but the sign's quite clear here where the public footpath is, and an even clearer sign telling you to keep out. You'll end up in a farm if you go down that way, which I'm sure they don't want you people just randomly wandering in. So this is going to be backing up some the hill now. Well, you've got a choice of going up the steps or taking a kind of a walk down that way, and I prefer the steps, to be honest, because it's much nicer once you get to the top. Nicer views than walking down that way. So you can head off down that way, take a right turn up the hill to the top of Knocking Knoll, or you can walk up the steps and over the top, and we'll ultimately come out at the same place. These were refurbished a couple of years ago after getting into terrible disrepair, which made walking up this bit quite tricky when it was very wet and muddy. Not really ever a problem when it was dry, but it was starting to wear away again now. This is a great place for picking up cones. If you're one of those that likes collecting cones, ones on the ground obviously, and spraying them silver at Christmas time to make arrangements, here's a good place to come. You'll find, well, that's a rather motley looking ones that look like they've been attacked by squirrels, but if you just walk inside the woods a little bit, you will find thousands and thousands of them. There's Deacon Hill, as featured in a number of my other videos. Another great, oh, excuse me, very polleny today, which makes me a bit croaky and sneezy, so I have to get cutting the camera off because I'm sure you don't want to hear that. Yeah, that's a nice little walk up those steps to get the calves and the leg muscles working properly. And we're almost at the highest point. Knocking Knoll in the Knocking Hoe Nature Reserve is just kind of over there. You can go in there. There's a sign, gives you some details about the flora and fauna and how it's managed and looked after, etc. It's not a theme park. It's basically an open area of land that is allowed to just kind of grow and helped by sheep usually, rather than, there's no crops in there, anything like that. And it's a fine place. You can walk to the hill, just the mound over there. Doesn't look much from here, but it is a fine vantage point from over there. I'm not going there today, but that's easy to, fairly easy to walk to. Once the nettles grow, you do have to kind of navigate through and around those to get to the field where you can walk across to that, which can be a bit tricky, but I'm sure you'd find a way. There's the farm that you don't want to be ending up in, and that's before us is Bedfordshire. Might even still be in Bedfordshire, walking just here, but pretty much going to be back in Hertfordshire soon. And the village of Shillington is just kind of out of sight really, but it's over there. Memory serves me right, once we get to the top of this hill there's a nice seat to sit on, which is good to get your breath back should you need to do that, or sit and have a bit of refreshment and look over the scenery. It was looking a bit dishevelled when I last saw it, so hopefully it's either been repaired or something. It might have disappeared completely now, I don't know, it's been a little while. Anyway, if you decided not to take the steps and to take the low route to the left back there, this is where you would come out from the left and join the path up to the top of Knocking Knoll. Just to my left here now, of course, is the Knocking Hoe Nature Reserve, which is a very pleasant place to spend a bit of time, just to sit there and enjoy the fresh air in the countryside and peace and tranquility. Can I see people in there today? Over there? Oh, possibly. Let's put my glasses on. Oh, and I saw some colours flickering in the tree line over there, but I think it's one of those wretched balloons that get let off at birthday balloons with helium in that go and land and litter everywhere. Unfortunately, I think it's one of those. Heaven's sake, keep them in houses, don't let them go off outside. Right, so we're virtually at the top of Knocking Knoll now, and the highest point of this walk, unless you decide to run all the way down there and back up again. You won't have any more hills to climb. Just here on the left is the entrance to Knocking Knoll Nature Reserve. I believe that's the name of it, National Nature Reserve, there we go. Looking like a reasonably new sign's just been put there, which is good. And you can enjoy yourself running around over there, over to the mound, which I pointed out earlier on, over there. But that's not for me today. Seat is still there. Oh yes, looking somewhat dishevelled still, by the looks of things. Oh, it's all kind of, yeah, this won't be a comfortable sit. I'll go and sit on the grass if it's dry. Look at the state of this. Oh, yeah. Hopefully that'll get repaired or replaced soon. Now, so if you carry on down that way through the dark woods, you'll come back out at the Barton Hitching Road and ultimately across there to Deacon Hill. This way will take us down into the village of Pirton. This little bit of path starting to get very overgrown. And just that bit there. Farmer's not been down with his massive, great big head shearers and his tractor, which they do periodically along here. So this is called Wood Lane, and it's shown on the map as Wood Lane, in the Pirton end of it at least is. You can't drive your car up it at any length of it whatsoever. There's a gate at the end to make sure that doesn't happen. Another path going off over that way will lead you to the Hitchin Barton Road again and across to a place called Welbury. That's another nice circular walk you can do in these parts. I'm going to head back down into the village now, finish up by the Fox Public House on the High Street via the Motte Bailey. From here down into the village, it's, I would say, approximately a mile. We've come probably 3/4 of a mile, but it's all downhill now. The hard yards have been done. And it's a relatively gentle slope, nothing too steep. So bone dry today, but this underfoot here is sort of a combination of chalk and mud. And when you add water into the mix, this can be so slippy, it's absolutely incredible. No matter how good your shoes or boots are, it's still like an ice rink almost. It's incredible. I've slipped over on numerous occasions on a really wet day. Not quite so much just here. Further down it gets a little bit steeper, and the chalk is slightly more prominent, poking out. And you, yeah, it can be. I've seen bikes come a cropper as well. Anyway, I take this route in the field, which technically speaking you're not supposed to do. There was a sign saying it's a conservation area and you shouldn't walk through it, but it's not fenced off, and the sign seems to have let's say bit the dust. So as you can see from the the path that's formed out in the grass there, it is still used frequently. And I'd say on a weekend when there's quite a few people cycling up and down, you're better off walking here, because if like me you tend to walk along listening to music with headphones on, you can't always hear them coming, even if they ring the bells, and it can cause slight issues especially at this time of year when the path is all the bushes and so are in full leaf, and it's not as wide as it is in winter. You can sort of block the way for cyclists. I'm always concerned actually that they might not notice you or think you're going to get out the way and come clattering into you without you knowing it. I've come close a couple of times where they've sort of tried to zoom round me. I've not noticed them coming. So anyway, yeah, so just kind of a way to avoid that on this particular part of the walk. See over there into just the north part of Hitchin. You can't see Hitchin from here, it's just kind of over there, and Pirton is just down here around the corner, and we'll be arriving there in the next sort of 10-15 minutes or so. So almost back into the village now, back at ground level, so to speak. Just a flat little wander through these tunnel of trees until we arrive. I love it down here in winter. When it snows, which obviously in the UK is not very often, you just get the part covering of snow where it's mostly landed on the tree, but some of it comes through to the ground, and it always looks really fantastic down here. It's not snowed for a long time. In fact, possibly the last time I walked down here it was snowing, but that was a long time ago. So just coming to the end of Wood Lane now, and out onto the street, and straight walk across this kind of junction. A lot of cars zooming in all directions here quite often, but let's just take it carefully. Go straight ahead to Great Green, and on Great Green are some lovely looking houses, cottages, and the Motte and Bailey pub. And there we go. A lot of people congregated on Great Green, which is not unusual on a nice day like this. Heading off on looks like a proper hike actually. They've got rucksacks on, but it's a good point, as pubs always are, a great place to meet, or the beginning and the end of a walk. Easy to find on a map, of course, and also it's a pub. I'm not going to film them because they look quite youngsters, so I'm not going to film in their direction. There's the pub, the Motte and Bailey. The Great Green and the group of hikers are just behind me. There's a bus stop if you just happen to arrive here in this village by bus. There is a sort of a semi-regular, 89 it is. If you Google 89 Pirton bus, it will tell you all you need to know. It's not a fast and frequent service. There's a handful a day, but if it suits your timings, then go for it. Just walking down, I'm not sure what this road's called actually. Crabtree Lane. This is Crabtree Lane, which takes us past the church and finish up at the Fox Public House. You can do what we've just done in reverse, of course. If you come by car, you'll have to walk back again, unless you want to try some other method. Right, so there's two ways of going here. You can carry on down this road, or you can cut through the church, which is probably much nicer. There's an ancient settlement here, and this is a Motte Bailey straight ahead of us, hence the reason why the pub's called the Motte Bailey. And I believe it's looked after quite well, although at the end of the day really it's just a mound. I've had a look up there and there's a sign just down here somewhere that just gives you a few details about what a Motte Bailey is and when it was constructed and why it was constructed and so on. And into the church. Again, nice, very satisfying sound of feet on gravel. Some beautiful little cottages here in Pirton. None more so than this one straight ahead, which is rather contorted in shape, but that gives it so much character. Must be a lovely little place to live in, that. And here we are, just coming out back onto Crabtree Lane and the junction with the High Street, and just round this corner we'll find the Fox pub. It's a little bit early for it to be open unless the sun has started doing breakfast, but last time I was here first thing in the morning it certainly wasn't open. No, it's not open, but on a nice summer's day, same as the other pub, that'll be quite busy. Good place to sit outside and have a beverage or two. So I hope you enjoyed that walk from the View in Pegsdon to the Fox in Pirton, and I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, press the yellow bell, all that kind of stuff. You know the drill. And enjoy your walking. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.